looks like a supernova.
It's posing, Lisa. The boat's turning.
What an attention whore.
Yeah.
Anyway, if the weather keeps up like this is going to be one of the best sailing days we've ever had.
Welcome aboard Sailing Wind Gypsy. We're glad to have you here for our second season. This is Ginger. Here's Lisa. And I'm Richard. We hope you enjoy the episode.
So here we are coming into Key Biscayne National Park. And it is a lovely place. They have a boat ramp over there. They have two small harbors for shallow draft boats. I think they can accommodate maybe 4 foot at the most. And the slips are relatively short. They have a shower, cold water shower, and a restroom, and they have fresh water. They have trails here on the key. Cell coverage is terrible. So here's Richard coming back from Ginger to go pee.
Well, you have to do a voiceover here because there's no way you're going to hear Lisa over that wind. What's happening here is I'm coming back from taking Ginger over to pee, and it was about 15 knot winds when I left. But in the time that I went over there and started coming back, the winds had gotten up to 23 knots, and it was getting really choppy. So I remembered all the videos I watched on Bronco Guru, and I kept the bow of the boat up, and we made it back safely. Ginger got to pee, and nobody died. That's always a good day. Nobody died.
Have you ever had your holiday messed up because the weather changed? Well, that happens to us too. Happens to everybody who lives on a boat. No matter how many weather predictions you watch, you check, and even when you check NOAA, the government site, sometimes things go wrong. You know, the weather is unexpected when you wake up the next day, and that's what happened here.
Since I washed my hair, it's time for another haircut. And here's Richard setting up his hair salon. Selecting his music.
Gotta have mellow music so the patient. So the client doesn't get all upset in case you screw up their hair.
Ginger's here at the salon. I brought him a picture of Jean Seberg, and I'm like, yeah, I want to look like her. It never works. So you have to get the dog off the salon chair.
You can lay on the floor even. Not there.
Okay. So Richard said he's trying to make my hair the same on both sides. I said that's okay if it's not the same. It's an artistic decision.
This is your National Park Service at Biscayne Bay in Elliott Key. Teaching kids how to pitch tents and probably go camping and such. National Park Service is a good thing. Support your national parks. We are on the ocean side. That is the ocean side of Elliott Key.
Yes, we are.
Discovered a couple things. Fire pit, some tables, barbecue pit. Wild dog around here somewhere. Oh, there she is. She's smart. She's staying in the shade. Decided we were going to stay here for a couple more days because, well, there's no advantage being up in No Name Harbor. As long as the weather stays nice, it's easy to get Ginger on land. Well, it's 0.7, 0.8 of a mile, reasonably easy. Yeah. So why not stay here? It's more like paradise. Ginger's kind of wondering why she can't follow Lisa into the water, but I don't want her to walk her over this coral. And I don't think she wants to either. She's smarter than that.
Fairly coral treacherous.
Yeah. And Ginger's waiting for Lisa to come back. Okay, she's on her way back. It's kind of lowish tide here on this beach down from the National Park Station. Lisa and Ginger. This is a great example of what I say when we point out that the whole area here is just sand over old coral reefs. Reefs. So, if we were on Gilligan's Island, this would surely lead to a misadventure. One of the park rangers, I'm not sure if he's a ranger or a volunteer, has a Hobie cat, and he and his family were out yesterday going along the shore, and today out sailing, enjoying a nice gentle breeze and getting some time on the water. Always nice to see.
This video does not do this glowing sunset justice. The sun is purple pink fuchsia, just solid fuchsia. So this is where I have to stand in order to get any cell phone coverage today. Well, actually, almost every day, this is where we have to stand to get cell phone coverage. It's just especially challenging today because we have up to 30 knot winds and we're in Biscayne Bay and not really very protected. So the boat is just bouncing up and down. But, as I told Libby, it's good exercise.
It's not a lot of wildlife here on Elliott Key, but the wildlife that is here is pretty darn impressive. That is a good-sized bird. Heron, I believe. You don't usually see them like that with the necks totally straight. It's cool.
Remember the bark ranger rule.
Yeah.
Taking a picture of us.
Yep. Beautiful sunny day today. We left Elliott Key after just over a week. It was a nice spot, you know, we got to have showers, and it was 0.7 nautical miles to Dinghy Inn with Ginger, so that wasn't too bad. We've had longer. We're going down to Adams Key now. That was recommended by Marilyn and Kurt, two of the volunteers at Elliott Key National Park. They're also fellow cruisers, so it's always nice to get recommendations from fellow cruisers. So we are on Adams Key. Don't see anybody around. I'm guessing those are two houses for volunteers. They have the same type of no trespassing signs that we saw in the Elliott Key around the residences. So
this is sort of bizarre. It is like the post-apocalyptic national park. No flag on the flagpole, no informational brochures, no signs saying deposit your money here.
that's really weird for a national park.
And I think these are actually residences for the rangers and volunteers at the park, right here, these two. I think there's a cistern back there and a bunch of no trespassing signs. This is the bathroom facility, and that is all it has, is a toilet, men's and women's side, no water, and no hand washing facilities, and a sign saying the water in the toilet is not potable. Here is one informational sign about a pirate that might have or might not have sunk here, black Caesar that the creek may or may not have been named after. I know Richard's walking down the trail, la da 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 da, and then all of a sudden I see him stop suddenly, rear back, and say, "Whoa!" Because right across his path is this ugly, ugly spider. Okay, it's not Australia, but I'm not going to do anything to him. I'm going to make sure Richard walks in front of me. So I was going down the trail and Richard was ahead swinging his spider stick, and all of a sudden he almost trips. And what happened was his foot got caught on this vine, and I was like, oh no! Somebody is trying to catch us. And this is going to be another Blair Witch Project video. And this is the boat ramp. I'm not sure if anybody ever uses it as a boat ramp because there's no roads out here. But anyway, this is where we tied up the dinghy, as you can see. And this is a very deep channel. It's up to 22 feet in the channel, but it's shallow at both ends, which precludes us from coming through here at Caesars Creek at the sort of south end of Biscayne Bay.
Beautiful sailing day today. We left Adams Key and we sailed off the anchor. That was a first for us. Didn't start the engine. We have not used the engine at all today. Now this is core sailing here. Good job.
Awesome.
Not sure I had time to grab the camera. That guy was flying. We are anchored outside of No Name Harbor last night and tonight. A little different for us. We went in yesterday, but it was just too crowded, so we didn't want to bother. But it's a rolling anchorage, but you know, it's not too bad when all the boats are in for the night.
So here's the entrance to No Name Harbor. And when we came in the other day, some yahoo had strung his crab pots right across the entrance. And there was a crab pot sitting right there in the middle of the channel into No Name Harbor. And anyway, I saw it when we came in and I avoided it. And we drove around No Name Harbor and thought there were too many boats and we could just anchor out here in the anchorage. And so turned around and we're going out and heard this big thunk, and yes, I had run over the crab pot. In my defense, the sun was setting and I was looking into the sun and there was a lot of glare and brightness on the water, and I did not see it, even though I knew it was there. So for all of the people who have come in to No Name Harbor in the last 3 days, you're welcome. Although it has been about 4,500 miles, and this is the first time we have run over a crab pot. And the line snapped and just wrapped around the prop shaft, but it was no problem going under the boat, just entangling it, so no harm. The entire harbor, except for the park part, is lined with mangroves, and here you can see the mangroves on either side of this little spot where it apparently washed out at some point. And I saw all these PVC tubes here that weren't here last year, so I was wondering what they were. And as I get closer, I can see little leaves sticking out of the top, and I realize that these are mangrove seedlings, and they are planted in these PVC tubes to keep them from washing away. Interesting what you learn in Florida. We have never seen the water quite this high at the dinghy dock. Makes it really easy for Ginger to get into the dinghy. I mean, some of these dinghies, the bows are actually above the dock. And this looks like fresh to salty which is a YouTuber that we have followed.
And they follow us.
So we were coming into No Name Harbor for Ginger's last trip of the night, and we see this Big Island packet here, and it's like, yeah, that boat looks familiar. Washington, D.C. We've seen that boat before. And sure enough, that is damage control sailing. And I think we have followed damage control for a couple years. It's always sort of exciting to meet your heroes.
Yeah, we were just coming in and we saw a boat we recognized, and here it is, some of our favorite YouTubers. Yay!
What an honor. I'm truly honored that our friends from WindGypsy recognize us.
And to make it even better, this young lady's from Detroit.
Absolutely. Go Lions.
That's right. Go, loving the D.
Finally.
Yeah. Anyway, I won't keep up your time. So. We are anchored here outside No Name Harbor.
Yay!
And surprisingly,
They're having fireworks for us,
I thought that was rather nice.
just like they did in Mackinac City.
Yeah. And they did it when we were here around Cinco de Mayo this year?
Yep, first week in May.
Yeah. No, I guess that's last year.
Maybe it's for St. Patrick's Day.
I was thinking that. I don't know if they do it for some. I don't know anyway. It's fireworks for St. Patrick's
They
Day.
have a low threshold for fireworks display.
Yeah. I'm guessing they're being set off right around Miami Harbor, just from the height of the short ones, in this angle that we're at. But
I
cool.
think they're from Key Biscayne.
Might be in Key Biscayne. I don't know.
They're in Key Biscayne.
Oh, Lisa thinks they're Key Biscayne. She is much better with navigation than I am, because I'd be in Norway if it was up to us, up to me.
So it's pretty breezy out here outside No Name Harbor, and we were getting Ginger ready to go across, and we saw this guy who is on one of those fishing kayaks in the water, and you know, there were a couple boats watching. We asked if he needed help. He didn't seem to signal that he needed help.
At this point, we could see that the person could not get back up on his kayak. So we got our dinghy ready, and I jumped in the dinghy and went out. And as I was doing that, a boat a little further out was also watching, and they jumped out in their dinghy. So we had two dinghies on the way to help this fella in the kayak. As I was heading to the kayak, I saw there was a swimmer in the water who had come from the boat the kayak had originated from. He indicated he was okay, so I just went straight to the kayak to help the swimmer who couldn't get back on the kayak.
I don't see what happened to the swimmer.
The swimmer was the person who ended up on the kayak, and he came from the catamaran, and I was taking him out to that. The original 16-year-old kid that was on the kayak got in the other dinghy that came out, and they went into No Name Harbor to pick up some people that the kayak was gonna try to get out to the catamaran with the kayak. Don't think that was gonna happen.
Okay, you know, I'm never going to hear the end of it because Richard's always like, oh no, it's too rough to go out there. Yeah, okay. This time it was too rough for the fishing kayak.
We're at a park up in No Name Harbor, and all of a sudden Ginger focused on something and got interested, and it's this turtle that was walking along the park. I don't want to get too close to disturb it, because you're not supposed to disturb the wildlife. So we'll just rely on zoom in here. A lot easier to get its picture than sea turtles. You see their head, by the time you grab the camera, they're gone. This is one of the biggest iguanas we've seen. It's in front of our dinghy. I hope it doesn't think it's getting a ride back with us. A little gusty this morning with 26 knot winds and getting pushed around a little in the anchorage. That's okay. But Ginger was pretty uncomfortable with the side-to-side movement and that, so she wanted to come up with us. I think she's pretty comfortable now. Ginger will not be dinghied ashore this morning. Yeah. They're looking at 32 knots. Not gonna happen. We are here on our friend's boat, helping him way up the mast. Notice how Lisa and I are down here and he's up there because Constantine's got to be at least 20, 25 years younger than us. Maybe 30. That's 52 feet. Same air draft as our boat.
And I used to be opposed to the idea of a defibrillator, but the price is
Ginger is waiting very nicely here. We have a baby in the fall zone and Mama's gonna come and get him. There's our boat. There's Validated.
So I understand now why people wear wetsuits when they clean their boat hull, even if the water is warm, because your hull is covered with not only vegetative growth, but animal growth, like these little wormy things. And anyway, they get all over your swimsuit, inside your swimsuit. And it is really pretty disgusting. And I have pretty high disgust tolerance.
Be a good serial killer.
So we got the water pump off the engine. So there is this big iguana here in the garden next to the library with this beautiful little pond. Oh, and there's another little lizard. There's our majestic iguana. I'm hoping maybe I'll see an alligator, but no such luck. Anyway, this is absolutely beautiful, and it is attached to the Key Biscayne library. How nice. This beautiful, beautiful garden. And we're waiting for the freebie, which is an amazingly great ride service. It is free, and they usually will come and pick you up within 5 or 10 minutes and take you anywhere on Key Biscayne.
So the splashing and everything going on the wall are dolphins hunting, trapping fish against the wall. It's just off our stern here. some of the fish that were running from the dolphins, and they are big. I've never seen so many dolphins at one time.
So I took the bus from Key Biscayne to Miami and then walked to get to the laundromat here. I didn't know they also had an oriental massage. So we went online to look for videos on how to replace your the thermometer to measure engine water temperature and display it on the gauge on your instrument panel. But we couldn't find any videos telling us how to do that. We only assumed it's because it's so simple, no one thought you needed an instructional video. So here's us doing this and seeing how successful we are. Might not be the most exciting day to sail your Hobie Cat, but certainly a great day for a nice little Hobie Cat cruise on Biscayne Bay and here in No Name Harbor. There they go. And I have to say, I do sort of miss this about sailing the big boat.
We were having an issue with our solar power yesterday. It just went to a different level in which it wasn't putting power to the batteries, which seemed kind of odd.
Different level of problem.
Different level of problem, yeah. So it's you know, there's bulk absorption and float, and you want it on bulk in order to get the most power into your batteries. But like we've always said, you've got more systems, you've got more problems. So we did change the fuse on it. It's not, we had a problem with it 3 days ago and we changed the fuse, which didn't look blown, but we thought, well, it was most likely. So we changed that. So then when we had the problem yesterday, we said it couldn't possibly be a fuse again. But here is the fuse, which should have a metal end on both sides and shouldn't be all scorched on the top there. So yes, it can be the fuse again. It is in the mid-range. We should have between a 50 and a 70 amp fuse for what we do and what we have. It is a 60 amp fuse, and if this continues, I guess we'll get bigger fuses.
On an adventure here in Miami, weird hat, I know, but keeps me dry. And I came over to Amazon Locker to pick stuff up.
That's kind of clever. They have a mirror on these high shelves, so you know you got everything out of it. More later. They got roosters in Miami too, apparently. Not just down in the Keys. This is at the Brickell Station.
Okay, while I was in downtown Miami, I came across this automated delivery cart. And here, these ladies are getting out of the delivery cart's way. Pretty interesting. So I made it to the Brickell metro station, and I am going to take the southbound train from downtown Miami to Coconut Grove, and there is a stop right next to West Marine. But if you choose to take the bus from Key Biscayne to the metro station, get a one-day pass, that's going to be the cheapest way. Each leg is $2.25. I think you can get a transfer for $1 or free. But I had to stop at the Amazon box, which is right in that hotel, that big blue hotel over there. It was the Olympus box. It was very easy to get to from the drop-off point of the bus from Key Biscayne, bus 26. One of the big drawbacks for me here in downtown Miami is getting directions because I don't speak Spanish. Southbound train is approaching the station. That's mine. Air conditioning on the train and the bus is delightful, especially after a couple of hot days in the boat. Richard's putting our window insulation up today to try to keep it a little cooler. This is the Vizcaya stop, which is right before Coconut Grove, and I think it gets you a little closer to the laundromat that I used, so you don't have to walk for 20 minutes from the bus stop to get to the laundromat. So anyway, if you're going to West Marine or Aldi's, which is right over there, get off at the Douglas Avenue station. If you are going to the lumber yard and hardware store, you want to get off at the Coconut Grove station.
It seems like we're not going to go to the Bahamas this year. There was a question with some of the documentation with Ginger's permit. We answered the question and we're told it would take about 2 weeks. And so we went down to Elliott Key and Adams Key and just enjoyed ourselves and waited patiently. And then when we got back, realized that somehow the paperwork got slid past the bottom of someone's desk. I don't know. So, you know, it's our fault for not following up. So then we followed up and paid our fee to the broker, who is well reputed, has a very good reputation. So we're not faulting him for this. And then sure enough, after a couple of days, it came back with the same question. So we replied with the same answer. And that was over 2 weeks ago, and we haven't heard. Well, the thing is, now it's April 2nd, and well, that kills into a lot of our time. We don't want to be there later than May, so we'd actually be over in the Bahamas for less than, what, 4 weeks, and still have to pay the $300 to get in there. We don't see that happening, so. Chances are we're going to go a little north here in Miami and enjoy Miami, and or Florida rather, go north in Florida and enjoy the rest of Florida, and slowly go up the coast. There's a reason you don't want birds sitting up on your mast, living up on the spreaders, because as I was sitting comfortably in my cockpit, you can see the mess that's on gas tank. This is the reason this stuff is out, is we were all working with it. We just were taking a break. And now it's all over here. And it's all over here, but worse, while I was sitting there in the cockpit, it got all over me. I didn't kill the duck, but I sure scared it off the mast.
It stinks.
Yeah, it stinks.
Tony laughed. Okay, Richard is putting our the blades up on our wind vane. It's much less sketchy this time than the last time he did it. Wait, let me get your hat. Okay. Ooh, close. Close one. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I am talking to my freebie driver here in Key Biscayne, Florida, and he started singing, and I was thinking, man, he has such a beautiful voice, and he said, yeah, that's my song. I wrote that. So, and you said a lot of your songs are on YouTube, and they're under what name?
Doc Holiday.
Doc Holiday, like the shootout at the OK Corral guy, right?
Yeah, but I'm the singing one. I'm the real singing one, the reggae singing one.
the reggae Doc Holiday.
Reggae Doc Holiday.
Yeah.
But
So how'd you get that name?
It's my cousin and one of my friends. We was at a show in Jamaica in a place called Seafield one night, and I was introducing myself as my right name, Richard Berger, and he said, no, you bad man, you don't see how the people that
Yeah, Richard Berger is not like a badass name,
so
no.
So you need to get that name, man. Doc Holiday, you need to have that name, Doc Holiday, man, because you bad. And from that, just start singing under Doc Holiday. My first song under Doc Holiday was Tap and Stay. But my first written song was Look Out for the Devil under my right name, Richard Berger.
Richard Berger.
Yeah.
And do you do your own music?
Well, I go to the studio and musician, book time, and me and musician, we work it together. I walk with my guitar and play my chords, and they do it, put it together.
Yeah, that is super talented, and yeah, even if your wife has not downloaded all your songs, my husband and I are going to download your songs, and we are going to listen to them.
Okay. All right.
And we're going to try to get you some more publicity. Like I said, we have a little tiny YouTube channel. We only have about 300 people who watch us, mostly friends and family. But
what's your name on YouTube?
SailingWindGypsy.
SailingWindGypsy.
WindGypsy is our boat name, and we're living
like
on a boat.
Gypsy woman.
Yes. You can write a song about us one day.
You never know.
That would be. I'm going to be looking for a song about us. So this is yet another day that the weather prediction was nothing like we thought it was going to be. Right now, the winds on the weather prediction are supposed to be, 6 to 14?
Yeah.
Veering from the west to the north, and we are actually getting winds from the south, 20 to 27. Anyway, somebody dragged into the boat next to us. I think he had inadequate ground tackle, and he does not have power. And some power boats, it's like it's taking him somewhere. We're not sure where, but he's getting taken somewhere. And the boat that got dragged into, causing them to lose their anchor, they've moved down there, and looks like they're well anchored again. When we came in, I was sort of worried maybe we were a little close to them, but we were at least 100 feet away.
The other boat very nicely sounded its horn to bring it all to our attention.
Oh yeah.
And let us know in case things really went south that we had to move ourselves.
But yeah, and I had just been up a few minutes earlier because you could feel the wind. The wind changed about 20 degrees, and checked our anchor circle and came up to look to see what was going on, and yeah, not as predicted.